This is week 8 Viva. You're not in. Stop getting cut in. You're like cut in. This is week 8 Viva. Monday we had Liz. Basically, you can get another chair if you want. It's fine. I'll just. She's still here. Paris is still here. She's getting another chair if she wants one. Monday we had Liz. At start, I feel like it was pretty late because everyone kept coming in late. I think because most of the class was sick. Basically, we did a meditation exercise. So we were sitting down, crossing our legs, and just thinking about good times. She said think about the good times mainly because she saw us all upset at first. So I thought about because it's getting close to Christmas. I thought about Christmas. Basically, my whole family at Christmas time at my grandma's house or just auntie's house or my house. Basically, that was like a good thing. It was a little bit. The only thing I found annoying during the meditation exercise was that the floor was cold. I find it hard to fully cross my legs like that. I can do it, but I find it hard to do it for a long period of time. I find it very uncomfortable. Paris wasn't here, by the way, so yeah, that's what I mainly did. We then did a exercise where we had to walk around in a space. She gave us levels, so walk neutral at level 5, so just walk normally. If she said walk neutral at level 10, it's like you're for real sprinting around the room. If she says walking neutral at level 1, there's like your slow motion walk basically. So we did that, but she kept changing it to something like walk I'm gonna give an example, walk wonky, for example. So when the word wonky comes in mind, is I think of something not straight and very like a jellyfish more. That's moving around, but it's everything's always moving. So I was walking like a jellyfish, man. It's just walking like that. And yeah, we did that. Then we did a trust exercise where we all go in a circle and we didn't count down. No one gave each other a countdown. We just had to walk in the middle, but no one would say, okay, 3, 2, 1. We had to find a rhythm for ourselves. So it took a few tries to do it, but then at the end, we found a rhythm without nodding or saying. We ended up doing it at the end, and I think the main point of that exercise was basically trust, really. And yeah, we did good on that. My strengths for today is definitely the walking and basically the walking exercise because I was committed to at wonky and all that sort of stuff. Most people in the classroom were too tired and oh, I can't be asked to do this. But I was yeah, I'm committed, I want to do this, so yeah, I would do it. Weakness, and the trusting was a strength as well. You gotta have trust during the exercise. If you don't have trust, then it can never work. Weakness, probably the crossing of the legs because I cannot cross my legs. Maybe I'll try cross them for I don't know, maybe I'll try to beat my record or something like that, but personally I just don't like it. Afterwards we did some script work with Liz in the same room. We talked about long vowels and short vowels. So we talked about, first we looked at the vowels, so A, E, I, O, U, and what was the other one? There was one more that says, is it said or V? There's one more. I can't remember. But there's just one more, but we don't talk about it. Basically, she gave us I had a script, Romeo, scene 3 at 3 where Romeo was banished. She wants us to find the short vowels and long vowels. So basically we're basically just finding the vowels really in each of the words. So I'll give an example. When you say a word, she wants us to find which vowel do you hear when you say this word. So I'm trying to think of a simple one. Writing. I'm guessing writing, or I'm trying to think of a word that was in the piece so I don't have to confuse myself. Okay, Juliet. When I say the word Juliet, the first vowel I can think of is I and E. So she wanted us to mark that down. Like I said, okay, there's a vowel there, basically. And that's what we did. It was very confusing. Some of the vowels and I am Botanica lessons have with this, I find them very challenging to me, but I'll work my way around it. Tuesday, we did some rehearsals with Jamie.
Isn't that when Jamie wasn't?
That was, no, we didn't do some rehearsals with Jamie. Do you want to take this one?
Rehearsals with ourselves.
Yeah.
So Jamie, I think he had a meeting or something, so we basically got trusted to direct it ourselves. So I think it was mainly, I know Joyce
and
helping
Madaj.
out. Joyce and Madaj were mainly like giving the most directions and things to add in, things to take away, things to improve on. They actually were a big help. So we run through the whole thing over and over again. Were we in the costumes or were we not in our costumes?
We were not in our costumes.
We were not in our costumes.
Actually, no, we were in our,
I think we were actually.
We were in our costumes because we wanted to get the feel of being in our costumes.
Makes
more.
it feel more alive, yeah.
And it makes it more alive. Wearing blacks, I feel like it hides. Basically, some people kind of hide to show their true potential at some times. Like they didn't feel comfortable of going bigger. But I said, we're all fine. We're all family here. Like you don't have to feel uncomfortable.
No.
But the costumes did help, I think, to some people. That lesson was fine. I feel like, yeah, my accent was getting better. I kept saying, actually no, I didn't this time. I didn't say I could make a change. I actually
got
doing
it.
it.
Yeah. I think we went through that bit a few times though, and then you got it in the end.
There was some, nice. Oh no, that's another day. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, we basically went over the scene. I helped direct some people. Like basically, I told some people when you're not talking, you still gotta be like you're on stage. Like when you're not talking to someone, you still gonna be like, okay, reacting. Some people just say that and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna, just chill, just wait till I say.
We've mentioned the crucible.
And I said that you don't really. That's not the case. Like you still gotta act like you're still included in the scene because, yeah, it's just it's professional. It's professionalism. You still gotta do this sort of stuff.
It reminds us of the crucible when.
This is the course. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, because that is like an example. What Ricky is talking about is, I know we've mentioned it quite a few times in these Vivas, but the crucible, the courtroom scene.
Yep, some people were just
standing there.
And just
there's like
reacting.
a whole apparently a witch going around, and back then, to even use that word, it's shocking. And some things like what you had to say, obviously I'm not going to say it out of respect, but what you had to say, back then, that would be a shock horror to hear, and then some people were still stood straight face,
which is not the case. Like you have to react.
You have to react in that bit.
Thursday it was monologue day, so we had to perform our monologues in front of Jamie and Gary. I was actually really confident, like, yeah, I actually got this, even though I was still recovering from my previous cold, which I was fine. It was just my throat, which I was scared of. I was scared that during my monologue I was going to start coughing, but I didn't, and that was a good thing. But how I prepared myself, I was in this room, came here I think I came out at like 11, practiced my monologue over and over again in front of other people, and yeah, we marked ourselves. I asked some of my friends, like, what can I do better? Some of them said, like, in my contemporary, I could be a little bit more louder, or don't start off too sad, but like build your way up, so don't peak and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I just felt comfortable throughout the day. And when I performed it, I was really happy because I felt like I performed at the best I can. Maybe could have done a little bit more with the contemporary, but I feel like I did well, and because of that, I'm in a monologue staff. So
well done.
Thanks so much.
But yeah, with the assessments, I was actually terrified in the morning that I didn't know my Shakespeare properly, but I was just putting myself down too much because I actually ended up doing the Shakespeare better than the contemporary. So yeah, I came here quite early, went over and over like my monologues, did it in front of someone, asked them for advice. I feel like when I'm practicing, I can't do it in front of people casually because sometimes it would throw me off guard with other distractions going on. But so I kind of just went in a separate room, went over it in front of one person, and then I sort of just did the rest of the practicing alone so I could be more in the zone. But yeah, like I said, when I actually went in there, I got told to do my contemporary first because obviously I had the whole setup and everything ready for it. So contemporary went quite well. I think I messed up one little like line, like not messed it up but just jumbled the words a bit, but don't think it was too noticeable. And my Shakespeare, the one I was most worried about, because I thought I didn't know the lines for it, but I actually did. So that's the monologue I was going over the most because I thought I was struggling the most there, but I actually ended up nailing it and got all the lines there. And yeah, that was Thursday.
Tuesday, what was
Friday.
it? Friday. I don't know why I said Tuesday. Friday. I dozed off for a second. I apologize. Friday, we had Jamie. We went over the scenes
That was
again.
a full run through.
A full run through of the whole Orpheus Descending. For the suitcase thing, or the guitar thing, Jamie said to me, because it's such a struggle and because of time, he said to me, just get an envelope. We're gonna get you a piece of paper, envelope, anything. Stick it on your suitcase because if you're new in town, you want people to know like here's my reference if you want to say anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm fine here, by the way, so you don't have to question it. And really, our dynamic in the scene. He said that it was better, like our connection. He can tell that before it was like, yeah, they're just acting on stage, but I think at this point, Jamie was like, yeah, I can tell you two like each other in this scene. Like you're starting to build that relationship. It's getting higher and higher each time, and I can't think of anything else what he actually said because we were some people in the classroom were on their phones and not paying attention. We were like, unless it's life or death, you have to be watching
Just
the
pay
performance
attention.
because if you can pick up something, and plus if something was to change or something bad happen,
And
you
had no idea.
you have no idea like, oh, what happened? Who changed? Like you gotta know these sort of stuff, really.
Yeah.
So as a class, that's what we need to work on. I need to work on I don't know, I'll come back to that. How did you find this?
I had finally just got all my lines in the bag, knew everything. It felt so much better and I felt more free on stage to do what I want. So got all the lines, did that really well, got that out of the way so I could focus more on my character and how I show my character more than just focusing on the lines. So like I said earlier on, my lines, I got to learn to get that more out the way first to focus more on my character. And also my scene with James, a thing in that lesson that we added more sort of intimate parts into it, and I need to work on getting rid of the awkwardness because I think it's for everyone.
Everyone's always hiding. They don't push too much, and we say as a class that you have to push push because no director's gonna be like they want the best of the best. Like there's gonna be lots of actors out there saying, I want this role, and to get that role you have to
prove it.
You have to prove it. You gotta show them that you really want this role. Showing 50-60% is good, but it won't get you there. Showing 100% or even more is like, yes, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Like they want that sort of stuff, the audience and the director. So yeah.
So yeah, it was like quite an intimate scene, so that's why we felt kind of awkward at first, but then after a few run-throughs, I think it was helpful that James kept on asking to repeat run-throughs. We got over the awkwardness and the uncomfortableness, because obviously, like, we're both 17, we're doing this, like, sort of flirting and intimacy. It's gonna feel a bit, a bit awkward, but once you go through it over and over, you'll get over it, and then it'll just be normal and natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. That's week 8.